Hi everybody, I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm going to do a video inside my car, and I just want to show you the view of outside right now, just to give you an idea what I'm looking at. You really don't see the house. It's a little bit closer than what it is here. This is more of a wider view. I don't know if I can actually zoom in here because it won't allow me to switch it back to the face if I do that. Just to give you a little bit of heads up, it's about minus 40 last night. It's about minus 30 out right now, and that's Celsius. And I guess it really doesn't matter. Fahrenheit's the same at minus 40 as it is in Celsius. So anyway, I got here last night, and Northern Lights went to start Northern Lights, and as soon as I got here, the Northern Lights started to come out like right away. It wasn't completely dark yet. The skies weren't completely dark, and they were full of color, reds, and mostly reds and green and purples and pinks, and for the whole night. Well, at least till about 2:30 in the morning. There was a couple of breaks in between, but it was super cold. It was quite the experience. If you don't have dressed correctly, it sucked. But it was super fun, and you have to be prepared for that temperature. But when you do, it's actually pretty fun. And so I ended up staying up here, and there's no hotels, of course. So you're stuck in the truck, and so you need to make sure that you got your sleeping bags and everything else is the way it should be. I just thought you guys should know. This is where I'm at, so it explains why I'm in my car, and what it is. Sometimes when you go Northern Lights, it's like I am at the Dempster Highway at Oak. I think this is close to kilometer 80, and in order to go back to Whitehorse, it's I believe 500 and about 550 kilometers away. So it's a like 1,100 kilometer trip there and back, but you do any driving up here, you got to be prepared for it. So Dawson's the closest community here, which is about not too bad. It's about an hour and a half drive from where I'm at, and but like Dawson's pretty small, like 1,500 people. And a lot of things right now are not really open the way they normally would be. The coronavirus has really put a damper on a lot of things. Anyway, I just thought maybe I'd give something a little more laid back, and just a stunning view that I have. Like I wish you could see it. Like the video, everything's smaller because it's a wide angle video, but it is what it is, and it's absolutely stunning right now. So I'm feel really lucky last night for experiencing that. Like that doesn't happen very often. I used to come up here, and it took me 8 years to start to get really good Northern Lights. I went up here 8 times, and then I finally started to get really good Northern Lights. So last night was a really amazing experience, but it was fucking cold. By my language, but it was cold. My battery, I have 3 sets of batteries, and they're really good batteries, and but even then, because once the camera's outside for so long, because they were pretty well active almost the whole 5 or 6 hours, that you have to they start to get cold, even though you got warm things, like you're in your jacket and they're warm. It's just it's an interesting experience, to say that, to keep your batteries, like once they get in that freezing cold the camera, like it reduces the life expectancy of the batteries pretty quick. So they all start to want to die when they come out really super bright, and I don't know if you can explain how beautiful they are when they get really bright and they dance, and it's like it's really, really amazing. But that's the time the batteries were dying. I've shot so many pictures that after a while, it's like it's not the end of the world if you miss a couple of shots. It's just experience is worth it, you know. So I don't have access to internets, and I'm trying to figure out something I want to journey into here. So I think I want to journey. This place is amazing. Like to be here, and as you're driving, like in every direction, every turn is new views and new mountain ranges, and it's just like this valley is absolutely stunning. The Tombstone Mountains are that way, like that way a bit. So if you're wondering whereabouts I'm at, and yeah, it's even get clear skies sometimes is a roll of the dice. So to have amazing northern lights and clear skies at the same time, which is what you need, is a really good thing. But you could drive up here and it could be completely. I'm sorry, I was looking at one of the foxes here. This time you don't get a lot. You could get caribou up here though. There's a caribou herd that goes through here that's like 100, like hundreds of over 100,000, 300. I think it used to be like really ridiculously big. I know it's taken a beating, but I mean, it's like you start to realize how, because you're surrounded by mountains. I took a picture once. It was with a long lens. I think it was like not really super long, but it was like with I think a 210 lens. Took a picture of the mountain range and I seen all these little specks on it. I didn't know what it was, but they're all caribou. Like thousands of caribou on the mountain, and you realize, okay, the mountain doesn't, it's big, but it doesn't look that big. But you realize that it's big, that you're surrounded by mountains and they're far enough away. Like you want to walk to one of those mountains, it takes a long time, and that's tundra. So the willows and stuff can be up to 6 feet tall, believe it or not. So it's quite the experience to do it. Anyway, so you get some Arctic foxes. You get the odd wolf out here. You also would get mostly caribou and bears, but bears are pretty well hibernating this time of the year. You get the odd bear that's out in the winter. You don't want to go anywhere near that thing because it's usually dying and hungry. But the foxes are beautiful up here. They're like black and red, and they're fluffy as hell. And you get those little ptarmigans that are pure white at this time of the year, and you can't even see them. There's this kind of maybe a dot of black. You can hear them, but you can't see them. Anyway, I'm just rambling on about this place because I had a really amazing experience last night, and I wish I want to start doing tours and stuff at Northern Lights, but this is not for the faint of heart up here because it can go down to minus 50, even minus 60 sometimes because I'm higher up, right? But if you go there in the fall, it doesn't go below zero. It's usually quite warm, and you might get -1 if you're lucky, but usually it stays above zero. And around third week of August, 1st September is probably the best time to come up. And the colors these mountains all turn red and orange, and they're just beautiful. Anyway, I know I'm kind of just rambling on about my experiences, but it's just, I live in a beautiful area, and this is like a little bit of a drive out here, but the Northern Lights are better here than in Whitehorse because I'm much farther north. The Arctic Circle is about, from where I'm at, probably 3-hour drive at the most, and so that's the 65th parallel. So that's north of 60 is Whitehorse is north of 60. So it's the Arctic Circle isn't the North Pole. Just to clarify, just so people think. Sometimes if you're not, some people aren't aware of it. But it is like pretty interesting that in very few places you can drive up to the Arctic Circle, and this is one of the highways you can. And it's a dirt road, pretty well maintained. It's like one time I went up here and I got stuck. Went to a place because it's tundra, so it doesn't. Now I never make that mistake again. I always go down and make sure it's solid. Because I go into this place every fall, and you drive down into it, and it's like it's a really good place because it's close to a creek, and the creek's usually frozen, so you get at least some reflections from the creek if it's any of the ice is showing. It's not snow covered. And I drove in there like I do almost every year, and even I went in this time of the year, and this time it was never plowed out. It didn't. You can't tell though. Drove in like I always did and stuck. 14 hours it took before I seen a vehicle. 14 hours, just to give you an understanding. Usually though, you see a car maybe every couple of hours. So this time of the year, yeah, a couple hours you might see a car drive by, truck drive by. The road maintenance crew does come by, but not that often. But that's who actually pulled me out is those guys. Anyway, enough talking. I'm still trying to. I'm thinking of going into the Northern Lights just to journey into the. I don't know if that's something I want to do either. I'm kind of humming and hawing about it, and maybe I should just allow Spirit to guide my message today because I'm kind of uncertain. I know there's a lot of people ask me a lot of things to journey into, and I always, please keep doing that. Please like and share my videos. I want to reach more people, and it's important because everybody should have the ability to hear different perspectives on things if they want to. So anyway, so this is what I want to do. I want to go into I'm just going to close my eyes here. I wish I could put this phone somewhere, but anyway, maybe see if I can just hold it here. Surprisingly, it's minus 30 outside, except the sun is hot this time of the year because it's March, and things are melting, and the sun stays up for quite a long time. Like this time of the year, the sun will be up for 12 hours. So it does, it gets light around 6 o'clock and gets dark around 9:30, 10. So it's a long time. Actually, that's more than 12 hours. It's surprisingly how quickly March changes in light. You can sometimes get 20 minutes a day change. It's pretty impressive. Anyway, so it's interesting because you can be in your truck at minus 30 and be warm ish, but the part where the sun hits is warm. Your feet now is another situation. Anyway, I'm rambling again. I'm just gonna connect on to Spirit here. See a bald eagle, it cries out, and it lands on my arm actually. And there's one of those cars that just went by. Of course it does. Just when starting a journey, I get to sit here and talk for hours and no cars go by. Anyway, that's enough. I'm just rambling again. So the bald eagle lands on my left arm, and it wants to carry me somewhere. So I'm actually going to fly with it. And I turn into an eagle myself. The eagle has something to show me. The eagle itself has not simply just like a bird. This is a very old spirit, and we're flying together into the mountains, over the mountain ranges, and the night comes and we're still flying, and northern lights fill the sky, And we just enjoy the experience of flying and the experience of the eagles all over the sky, and northern lights all over the sky as we fly as eagles. And we land just as the sun's coming up. We land onto the ground. I'm cold, actually. This version of myself is cold. And the eagle's a woman, actually. She's very, like, her wings are very, she still has wings, actually, and she turns into a humanish form. And her wings are white with, now they're white, and she's all white. And she says, "Why are you cold?" Because there's a part of me that is, there's a part of me that's sad about the experience, the situations that I'm in, and it makes me cold. It makes me become cold. It's not so much as a cold person, but it's like a part of your heart has to be rigid. And this goes for everyone. Because it's important to not allow your heart to go cold. Because especially guys, we do this when we're in a tough situation. It's easy just to allow your heart to go cold, to go numb. But when it goes numb, not necessarily your whole heart, but there's a part of your hearts that we shut down. You can't do that because you have to allow the light and the love in. This is more so than ever, but it's just easy to shut things down. But when we do that, everything becomes cold. So when I'm feeling that part of my heart that is cold, that I shut down. We're walking closer now to, it looks like it's like a fire, but it's not necessarily a fire. It's more like spirit energy. It's warm though. And it's coming out of like a big circular bowl. The bowl is made out of marble, white marble. And it's full of energy that's shooting out in every direction. Like it's overflowing, kind of like what happens with it's kind of like it's just light coming from this bowl, and it's moving a lot like northern lights would move, but it also moves like black ice at the bottom. It flows over onto the ground like dry ice, I should say, but it flows like northern lights as well, upward. And it's a bluish white light. And she wants me, and it's warm to the touch. It's not cold. So I touch this. It's really warm, and instantly it warms me up, and I'm not cold anymore. And I'm just staying, allowing this, and she says to you, every one of you that are watching this video, to simply just stand by this bowl of beautiful, flowing, whitish blue light and allow it to engulf you. Walk into the bowl. The bowl is huge, by the way. It's like probably about 15 feet in diameter. And so I actually walk up into the bowl and I sit in it. And it just feels really, really, really good. And it goes into warm every part of my body. And it starts to enter as I breathe, I'm breathing it in, and it's also going into my heart. It's also coming in and out of my third eye, but mostly it ends up going into my heart, and my heart starts to glow really bright, and I think it gets really warm, super warm. It actually makes me smile, because it's important, if we go through difficult times, to allow ourselves to smile. And she reminds me of the experience I had last night and how amazing that was. And I can't explain how amazing it was. I had a really good time. Even though it was hard, it was also amazing. Because sometimes life is hard, but you have to make the best of it. And that's what I did last night. I made the best of a difficult situation because it was so amazing, but it was not easy though. It could have been like say -5. Instead it was -40. So that has its challenges. So you have to overcome those challenges in order to be able to still do what you want to do. And you have to do it with a laugh, like with lighthearted. Because if you go in there with a failure attitude, you're not going to be able to do anything. And if you don't get what you want, or something happens and you get really upset about it, that's not right either. You just simply go, well, I did my best. And sometimes shit happens, So that's the type of thing that this energy is about. It's about lightheartedness. It's about accepting the difficulties, finding a way around the difficulties. And when it's a difficult situation, you make the best of it. And this is what this energy is really good at doing. Is making the best of a difficult situation. And enjoying it. And actually come out saying, you know what, I did the best I can. I enjoyed myself. But then other people would be like, it was blah, 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 blah. It was this, and this. Focus on the good things. Focus on the happy things. Focus on the enjoyment of the experience. Because I'm telling you, not everyone would have enjoyed that last night because they would have focused so much solely on the coldness. And one of the things I noticed last night, even when it was -40, I felt warm because I was enjoying myself. I was running too quite a bit, but it's still super cold. And even when I had to take my gloves off, my hands got cold pretty damn fast. But as soon as I put them back in the gloves, they were fine. And like the difficulties of the experience, even when my batteries were dying, I was going back and forth trying to get them warm and charging them. And all this experience was part of the fun. I could have solely focused on the negative aspects of it, but I focused on the positive aspects of it. And so what if I didn't get every shot exactly the way I wanted it? And that's the important thing. Is enjoyment of life. And this energy is going to help anyone that sits in it and breathes in the energy. It's going to allow you to help brighten and warm your heart. All of us shut down our hearts, parts of it. It's part of life. It's difficult things that you experience in your life. It's easier just to shut it down. So I stand up and there's an opening above me and I fly into the opening. The energy's going into that. And there's a river. It's like ice and it's like slippery. So as soon as you get on it, you're going to go. I could stop myself from going, but it's important that I allow myself to slide on the ice. And there's even a loop, but I stay, like I just start sliding and I go around the loop and I keep sliding. And I'm enjoying myself. I'm happy. Even though it's difficult, I'm still happy. And it's fun. And I'm enjoying the experience of life. Not running from it. And there is challenges, like the loop. I could have simply just abandoned the idea that, oh my God, I can't go around this loop. But no, you go around the loop. And it's even fun when you go around the loop. And out the other side, I'm actually laughing. And this ice's experience is like forcing me to go in a specific direction. But it's a wonderful experience. Because I'm allowing myself to experience it, to accept the challenges, to overcome the challenges, to enjoy myself. Even the challenges are there. Even when you fall down on the ice, you just pick yourself back up again and just keep going. So that's the message that they wanted me to share with you, is to enjoy the moments of life, even when they're hard. And that energy, breathe it in. Allow it to go into every part of your body, especially your heart. And just not take life so seriously sometimes, and enjoy it. Enjoy the experiences. And enjoy this amazing view that I get. I'm so blessed that I'm here to watch it, to experience it. To share it with you. Because this place alone is healing. Just being here. It just instantly you start to let go of the things, and it goes within the earth. So during this journey, I wanted you guys to allow all the dark stuff flow out of you, and let it be pulled out of you from the fire. But the fire is nature. It's the beauty of nature. It's the going and just taking the time to go for a walk. Take the time to go for a drive to somewhere beautiful and experience that nature. Like, I'm surrounded by nature. I can go for a 5-minute drive and be in the most amazing place. But going out here is a whole nother level of experience because there's no sound. And that is a challenge in itself. But it's absolutely amazing when you're able to sit with yourself for days and look at a mountain range and enjoy that. Enjoy the time that you have with silence, with the beauty, the healing, the letting go of the things that were bothering you. That's what nature's so good. Earth is here to absorb our difficulties, to transform them into something beautiful. So remember, everyone, allow yourself to feel the beauty of nature. Allow yourself to let go of the difficulties. Enjoy your life. Laugh. Man, I'm serious and I need to laugh more often myself. But the older I get, the more I realize how important it is to just lighten up. But coming to the Yukon about 15 years ago changed my life. I always loved nature, but I had no idea how beautiful it can be. I've always had appreciated it when I was growing up in PEI. Used to always love the beaches, the shorelines, and never had any mountains. But then I moved out. We lived in Toronto for about 14 and a half years, and no nature there. It's very almost none. There is Niagara Falls, which is actually astonishingly beautiful. But that is still it's a fairly long drive, and it's full of traffic, and it's still tons of people. So when I came out here, I experienced some of the most amazing, life-altering things. And that's why this video is so important. The video is to remind you of that. Remind you of the importance of nature, the beauty of nature, the beauty of animals, the beauty of Mother Earth. To remind us to take the time to nourish ourselves, but also have respect for the land, have respect for each other, enjoy each other's company, because it could be a blink of an eye and you might not have that company anymore, at least not for a while, because there will always be a time when you'll be reunited again. I wish you could feel what I feel, see what I see. I did show you the video, but it doesn't really engulf the beauty of the place. Nasi no ki sanato. I'll leave you with a video looking at. And like again, wide angle video of mountains all around me. Tasa no kini. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful day.